ज्ञानमूर्ति द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदर्शनं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वदी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं। So, since we are in Badrinath, which is considered to be the seat of Narayana, they say that even Narayana did tapasya as two, and then became one. So I'm going to do the Gita for you. And it's a chapter which we have not done much. We have done Dhyana Yoga, we have done Bhakti Yoga and so on. Normally when we have a satsang of the Gita, for the first time in a place, I do the Bhakti Yoga chapter. This time, I want to change it a bit. We need to change. Can't be the same all the time, so we need to change. So this time I'm going to do something which is called Purushotthama Yoga, which is the 15th chapter, Panchadashoga. It's a very important chapter, but it needs a little bit of explanation and so on. Doesn't matter. We'll do as much as we can. Before that, the Bhagavad Gita is Bhagavad Gita, song of the Lord. So it's a song. And what I'm going to do, what we are going to do, is a prose satsang. So you may not catch the nuances of a song. We'll try our best. But it is a Gita. It's not a Samhita, it's a Gita. It's a song. So what you should do is, as we do the satsang, between the lines, try to get the music of it, the song, the sacredness of what is between the words, not so much the words. We have a saying that it's not important what one says, but what effect it has on someone. So, I'm going to do the 15th chapter. Now the Gita, as I said, as you all know, is part of the Mahabharata. It's part of Bheeshma parva of the Mahabharata. And it's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. It was written by Vedavyasa. So if you don't want to say Krishna said, you can say Vedavyasa said. You don't make it. Doesn't make any difference because the words are more important. And who said it? It's not only a study of understanding the truth, it's also mentioned, it's also connected with what you practice to get there. Theoretically you can understand, but the Gita is also the practical steps to touch that. At the end of each chapter of the Gita, you will find the following. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita, that you understand. Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Next, Upanishads. It is the knowledge of the Upanishads, which are so abstract many times and so deep. But the Gita has managed to put it in such simple language. So and what does Upanishad deal with? It deals with Brahma Vidya, Brahma Vidyayam. Next, Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So Upanishads, so Brahma Vidyayam, which means it's dealing with Brahma Vidya, which is the subject of the Upanishads. But it doesn't end there, because you can sit and say Aham Brahmasmi and still behave as you are. Right? I can say, well, I'll remain a murderer all my life. Aham Brahmasmi. Doesn't work. So how to touch that? Not through Vedantic ideology. Yes, you should understand it. The framework is very important. Otherwise you don't know where you're going. Okay, agreed. But are there ways and means to personally make it part of our life and touch it? For that you need something else. So the Gita says, Iti Srimad Bhagavad Gita Upanishatsu Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastre. So the Yoga Shastra is a necessary part of understanding the Brahma Vidya, according to Vyasa, according to the Gita. Don't ask me. I believe it, of course. Not only believe it, it's my experience that it is required. A human being, I won't say man, a human being, there's so many ladies here, a human being with the ordinary ways of thinking and the ordinary system that works in our body cannot understand Brahma Vidya. To understand, theoretically you can say yes, but if you want to touch it, you need to change the system. You need to sometimes put things upside down. I'm not talking about Shirsasana. Upside down meaning you have to look at things from an angle completely different from the angle that you normally look at things. That is the practice of yoga. We'll go into it in detail. You should also remember that every chapter of the Gita is called a yoga. Arjuna Vishada Yoga, Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Karma Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga, Karma Sannyasa, Purushotthama Yoga. See? So, yoga is not merely the practice of physical postures, it's an attitude of understanding. I won't go into Yoga Sutras or Patanjali because then we'll have 10 satsangs on that. We cannot go into it. It's really technical. People think it's very easy. It's not. It's very difficult. So, but the Gita, fortunately for us, puts all this in such simple terms. That's the importance of the Gita. In fact, among the Prasthanatraya, starting with the Upanishad, the Brahma Sutra and the Bhagavad Gita, the Bhagavad Gita happens to be, I think, something you should study first before you go into this. Otherwise you will read Brihadaranyaka Upanishad and keep going round and round the Brihadaranyaka, big forest. You may not know how to come out. I think Gita is a very good beginning of the Prasthanatraya, of the curriculum in simple language. Plus you should understand it's a dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna. So, even though it's a dialogue, you will see that Krishna does most of the talking. Arjuna butts in here and there and says, just a moment, this can't be so. Then it becomes Krishna again. Because Arjuna has accepted the fact that he doesn't know, so he has to find out. Unlike the present-day disciples who know everything, they don't need to find out from anybody. Arjuna has admitted, I don't know, so let me ask. See? So, in the Dhyana Sloka, Arjuna is compared to a calf, partho vatsa. You know, when the calf hits the cow's udder with his head, then milk comes. So he asks, but not silly questions, how to stop my loose motions, but serious questions. So, this is what we are going to do today, the 15th chapter. Now, I just need to go back a little bit. In the first chapter is called Arjuna Vishada Yoga. Important to remember. Is the yoga of Arjuna's sorrow. Sorrow insecurity, uncertainty. It's a Sanskrit word, remember. We need many English words to describe. Vishada is not just sorrow. It means many things. It means uncertainty, confusion, insecurity, sorrow, of course. Primarily sorrow. So, it's when the human being is faced with sorrow and trouble and insecurity that they usually approach spiritual teachers. No. It's very common. If you're going to stand for an election, you want a blessing from a spirit. That's a different matter. I'm saying when you have real sorrow, then you begin to look and wonder, is life all this? Or is there something more? If we didn't have that, one would not even think. What does the Granth Sahib says? Dukh mein sumiran sab kare, sukh mein kare na koi. I'm not saying we should invite dukkha. No. But in this world, sukha and dukkha are opposite sides. So, sorrow and happiness are two sides of the same coin. If you have this, it may be there somewhere. If you have this, someday it will break, like a cloud burst, and you'll get some happiness. But so you can't avoid sorrow, but you can learn how to be free of it. The whole process of yoga's chitta vritti nirodha, is not to escape from sorrow, but to face sorrow and sort it out. So therefore, it's to the point that the first chapter is Arjuna Vishada Yoga. And remember, it's supposed to have been taught in a battlefield. This battlefield of life, in which we are all there facing. Can it be possible to understand the truth staying here in this battlefield? That is the Gita. Not running away. Where will you run away? You can't run away and leave your mind behind, right? It goes with you. So, how to live in this world? And some people are, how can such a long teaching be done on the battlefield? See? Some people, I said, if you are reading the Gita, and if you think that the person who is teaching the yoga is not an ordinary man, or something different, then this is also possible. Otherwise, forget both. But primarily, it's meant for us who are here in this battlefield of life. And how to stay here? You can't escape until death comes. And sort out your problems. Move towards the essence of what we are looking for all the time. This is the teaching, and I'm going to deal with the 15th chapter now.